Hello, everyone, and welcome to Zest with me, Shel Marie, the podcast that will take you on a journey from the hustle to the harmony, fueling your passion whilst finding your peace. Today, it's an absolute honor to welcome Jo Dall, a transformational healer and energy alchemist with over 21 years of experience helping high-achieving women heal from within, clearing deep blocks and stepping fully into their authentic power. Jo blends powerful mind-body techniques with intuitive energy work, guiding women to break free from old patterns, restore balance, and reclaim their vibrant alignment. Her soul-led approach empowers leaders to shift out of the survival mode and into clarity, purpose, and inner freedom, which is all I am for. I am so excited to connect with her, and I believe that in this conversation we'll explore the magic of healing from within and the life-changing shifts that happen when we finally say yes to ourselves, give ourselves permission to release what no longer serves us. Let's dive in and meet this incredible woman. Welcome, 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 Jo.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. That was really lovely. Thank you.
You are so welcome. And already I just feel this really beautiful energy from you, and I'm really thankful for connecting with you, and I'm excited for this co-creation. As I said, not an interview and asking questions, but a beautiful co-creation between both of us. So this is your time and your voice, your message, your journey, and I want to honor it in the best way that I can. So I think something that really like shouts out so loudly to me is within. So I think always, even though we see the point that people are at the moment, there's always something I feel that leads us up to that. And I often feel that that's the gem. That's the gem that often people are searching for, of like that moment where something just clicks and either we're like, enough is enough, or just something happens. So I would just love to know, like, from your own journey, like, what was your own story of this transformation, where this kind of came from?
Thank you. So I love the fact that you said enough is enough. And I think that that's when you have an understanding of what's going on within you. So often we don't get enough is enough. We get something else. So we get something's broken. So we might feel exhausted. We might feel completely overwhelmed or anxious.
Yeah.
Or something physically might go out of balance. So we might end up getting migraines or a really bad tummy or something that draws us to where we need to go to begin to heal. But it's never the real reason why. So for my particular journey, it was that, completely shattered, striving, struggling, pushing my way through everything. And I kept going and I kept going and I kept going because that was my distraction and my default button.
Yeah.
Until my body went, not doing this anymore. And it made me stop. And that's where I think we get to, is the body says, your words again, enough is enough, and the body makes us stop. Yeah.
Well, already just in that, I think the powerful thing that I've definitely heard from you in that is we're talking within, but it's actually without. So it's like, again, and I'd love your take on this, and again, it's absolutely not disregarding any medical professionals or anything. Like, everybody's on their own journey, and we should all seek within what we need at the point we're at. But there is an element of like, why do I have this migraine? Why am I feeling tired all the time? And I think this is super important what you've mentioned, because I think we then will have, not everybody, but people will go, oh, I'm tired, I'll have an energy drink to keep going. Oh, I've got a migraine, I'll just have all these pills, suppress. And again, like, This is absolutely no judgment to anyone who is functioning that way or doing that. But I think this is why these conversations are super, super important, because it's not a judgment or a criticism to anything. It's just awareness that there could be something else. And that's why I'm so thankful for you. And I would love your just anything that you feel that would be really beneficial right now to mention in regards to an external relating to the internal.
So yes, you're right, and as you said, no disregard, but we are living in a culture where it's a quick fix.
Yeah.
Can somebody make me better? Can somebody give me something that'll take the pain away? Can somebody fix this for me? And we look externally as to what we can have that is going to be the quick fix, because we need a quick fix, because we need to carry on. But what happens is we aren't taking responsibility for our own health and well-being. We are surrendering our control and our own way of being to somebody else to make it better.
Yeah.
But it's that, let's look within. Let's look at, what is my body telling me that I need to address because something is out of balance? Yeah. Whether it's physical or emotional, or even using the big word spiritual, something your body is not happy with, and a plaster or a tablet is not going to fix the actual cause.
Absolutely. Gosh, your words are just dropping. They're beautiful. Thank you so much. And what I really, really love that you mentioned, because I feel like there's an element to words as well that are keeping people in labels and brackets. So for example, spiritual, there's just this like, oh, you're this or you're that. And I think we really need to break away from these words and listen to the actual message, okay? Of like, we're talking about a body right now, which everyone has, feelings right now, emotions that everyone has, and the moment it feels woo-woo or spiritual or this or that, the other people are like, no, that's not me, and I think this is again something that's purposely playing out in order to keep people in these same patterns, in these same things of like, oh, that word doesn't associate with me or this. How about let's just take the word away, like what you just said, that because it is like a certain connotation to it, and just say, right, back to you. What is happening with you right now? Okay, you took that one pill last week, and now all of a sudden you're taking more and more and more. Okay, this is showing something. And I think this is what's super important, is regardless of whether you're spiritual, not spiritual, what you believe, what you don't believe, it's all about almost being just really radically honest, accepting, and really monitoring yourself and what your behaviors are and what your patterns are. So I really appreciate you mentioning that. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think if we use a different word for all of it, it's the essence of who we are.
Yeah.
So the essence of who we are includes the physical, includes the emotional, includes our spirit. So let's not make it spiritual. It's our spirit, it's our soul.
Yeah.
And if we don't listen to our spirit, and we know people, and I'm sure you know people, I know people who are dispirited, where they are just completely lacking in enthusiasm, motivation, energy, and everything else. So the spirit is our essence. It's our zest for life. It's our sparkle. It's our va-va-voom, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But it's only when we align with our essence of who we are and look at why perhaps we're not feeling as we might like to, that we can truly then reflect on how we might take that big leap to look at what we need to heal within.
Oh, thank you so much, Jo. And do you know what really just came to my mind as you said that? Because again, it's like the words again. I don't know how it happens, but like, why is it like we can say things like, that child's got a beautiful spirit. And that seems like not such a woo-woo thing. Like, oh, she's just got a beautiful energy about her, beautiful spirit. But the moment we're an adult and we're talking adult to adult, it's like, oh, no, this is weird. But we say these things whether we are conscious or unconscious of it about children, because children are so present, they're so in the moment. You feel their beautiful, as you beautifully said, radiant energy. And I think, yeah, it just goes back to like just being really honest with yourself and being like, okay, is this actually the person I want to show up as? Is this really like how is this really fulfilling me right now? Okay, away from everything, what do I want? What is the essence, the spirit, the whatever of me? What right now am I seeking? Am I seeking more love? Am I seeking more fulfillment? Am I seeking more purpose? Whatever it is, we're all different. We're all on our different journeys. So I really, really appreciate you mentioning that. Thank you. And I guess like our nervous system is also a really, really strong indicator of but again, the word alignment, but not quite, because I think we all have a center, don't we? We all have a center of like generally how we show up, and we might call them good days, bad days, but we generally all have like a way that we generally are. And I think that's the indicator for me, is like, I call it alignment, but like when I know that it's wobbly or like and that could be positive or negative, by the way, because I think the spiking, isn't it? I think we always like hold into this healing and everything's got to be like this, but actually spiking up, like really, really, really happy, and then down is also an indicator of not alignment, because it's kind of like throwing yourself at something that's now a savior or a pedestal thing, and then being like, oh, it's been taken. So that's also, I think, a really strong thing we need to remember as well. It's not always like the doom and the gloom and the healing. And I think just, again, it's just trying to keep that steady, like, I don't know, what's your take on it?
So I think balanced energy. I would use the words as you have: aligned energy, balanced energy. When we come from a still center, when we within are aligned or balanced, then the world outside doesn't seem quite so chaotic or influential on ourselves. When we come from that still center, we are at one with ourselves. And from that place, we are able to cope better, to see with clarity, to have a clearer lens on what's going on. But when that's distorted, out of balance, out of kilter, or whatever you want to call it, then the noise of the outside world then really significantly affects our being. And it makes shadows bigger, it makes patterns bigger, it makes energy harder, it makes life more difficult. And I think with anything like that, we're all human in our humanness, and we all have good days and bad days. But I think overall, if we start to have an awareness within of what feels right and aligned and what doesn't, then we've got a better place to then come to, what do I need to do now? Because I'm not right. And I think it's at that point where you kind of begin to say, right, can I bring myself back myself? And there's a myriad of tools that we know of and use that can help us to do that. But if something's happened that's taken us too far out, that's when I see people and help them, not to fix them or do it for them, but to give them some additional tools to help support them to realign and rebalance again.
I think that's super important what you've just mentioned, because I think also there's almost this like storyline narrative of like there's a weakness to asking for help, and what you've just so importantly highlighted is it's not savior or someone better or this, it's not that at all. it's the fact that often someone else usually has been through what you've been through. They've and again, there's not like a, oh, tick, I've achieved that. No, we're constantly on the journey. But sometimes just having another person's perspective, another person's outlook, or just that community and accountability is super important. And that's why I love speaking to people like you who you know are like mentors. You know, I'd like to see you more as a mentor than like because I feel like sometimes, you know, particularly now with I don't know why this has just come into my bit with chat GPT now, it's almost like that's now become like the therapist or something, because it's like, oh, I don't want to speak to anyone about this, I have to show this version. But there's no weakness in it. And actually, like in looking at like someone like you, the incredible person who's gone through things and found this, not the solutions, but techniques and ways that work and formulas and things that you can have a go and apply to your life. That's actually, for me, it shows real courage, because it's the courage to change your life and to stop these patterns. And I just want to actually just be really vulnerable and raw and open with something I mentioned to you just prior to coming on to the podcast, because I think sometimes in us sharing a story, it helps another sometimes. And very, very briefly, what I basically shared with Jo was that something entered my life that was something previous to a storyline or whatever, or a pattern or something that used to be in my life. And it actually didn't come as disruptive, as chaotic or anything like that. It actually came as a beautiful package, something that I could just go, oh, okay, well, right now I could do that and it will bring me a little more abundance, or whatever you want to call it. But actually, more than the offer, and I think it's beautiful that we have these, and if we want to dip back into that safety zone and accept that just for a little bit, there's no harm in that. There's no delay, there's no right or wrong. But I think when we particularly are changing periods of our life and we are focusing on a certain desire, goal, or something we are creating, we have to think, is this right now maybe a beautiful distraction, or is this alignment? And I found it as a distraction, and it was almost like me saying, oh, well, in me accepting that, I can receive this, but I'm forgetting of what could come if I just stay in alignment and belief and trust in what I'm already doing and creating. So I'd love your take on that.
So I think you're right. I think that life is not perfect, and we're living again in a world where perfection is what everybody perceives we have to be. You know, you look at the leaders, the people who are the change makers, and they are perfect in other people's eyes, because they have it all, they do it all, they're the ones that everybody goes to, they're the fixers, they're the solution makers, they're everything to everybody. You know, they do their exercise, they go on holidays that are amazing, but actually if you look just beneath the surface, there's something that's slightly cracked or broken, and there is a fear, big word, that if they're not perceived as that person, then who are they?
Yeah.
And I think you named it beautifully just now. To show vulnerability is not a weakness, it is a strength. To ask for help when we need it is something where it can bring ease and fulfillment, instead of feeling that we've got to solve it all ourselves. Yeah. You know, how many people do you know who have read the books, they've listened to the podcasts, they've tried to meditate because that's what they know they've got to do. They've had the smoothie, they've eaten well. Still, just beneath the surface, something isn't right. And they know it, and they feel it, and they override it.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, one of the other things that I know, is when people are busy, striving and doing and being, they will switch off by coming home and having a glass of wine, or they'll go for a run because that's how they think they're relaxing. But that's a distraction. It's a numbing out. It's a detachment from what's really going on.
Yeah.
And to look within, and we talk about this all the way through, don't we? To look within and really be honest with yourself and go, actually, is this who I want to be, or is this who I feel I have to be?
Yeah. And I think that's super important what you mentioned, because again, it's like there's nothing wrong with the glass of wine or the run, but it's the intention behind it. It's the consciousness and the intention. If you know you're having that glass of wine because you're celebrating maybe something you've created or something like, and it's not saying it has to be a celebration, but, or if you know that when you go for that run, you are, you know, going through your day or something, like adding that intention to it. But like what you said, if you're doing it and you're almost like suppressing and numbing something and like, oh gosh, I just want to get back and have that glass of wine, or do you know what, I've had enough, I need to get out this house and I'm gonna go for a run. Like, I think it's just going back to that intention of like, is it a distraction? Is it you just really not wanting to sit with you? Or is it actually something that is helping towards your well-being? Because again, if our body after that run is like really not in a good state, it's an indicator. So thank you for that. That's really powerful what you've mentioned. And something else that I know that you speak a lot about and are aware of is ancestral patterns. And I would love to know more about how maybe this feeds into elements. And obviously I know that's a really big question, like we're all different, but elements of our lives, and maybe what indicators show that sometimes it's not actually something that belongs to us.
So often when I see people who are feeling in that place of unwell or overwhelm, we have a conversation, and it's when people say to me, I don't really know why I feel like this, or but my mum was like this, and my grandmother was like this, and or I've got everything, I've got it all, and yet I still feel like this, you know, anxious or overwhelmed, or feel insecure, unworthy, all of those kind of things. Then it's time to look further than just our lifetime, and it's those patterns and behaviors that you can see going through generation to generation, and there's no fault with that. Nope. Because, you know, our ancestors didn't go when we were born, right, I'm going to pass all this on to you now, so I don't need it anymore.
Tag, you're it.
They don't do it knowingly, intentionally, but it passes through the DNA. So the pattern of feeling unworthy, or I don't deserve, that's a big one, or, you know, anxiety, those kind of patterns that they kind of land at our door. And yet, because they're not ours, they seem so much bigger than they would do if they were just ours, because they've got a few kind of lifetimes of weight behind them that makes them not align with us at all, because it's not who we truly are, our essence. So it fits badly, and it causes dis-ease and discomfort within the energetic system. So to then have that healed, wow, I mean, I don't know, can I share a couple of stories?
Yes, please, absolutely.
So I've seen a few people over the last 2 years who have been for this ancestral healing, and they transform in front of my eyes. They've come as a shadow, you know, life has just collapsed for them. They may be going through a divorce, they've separated, they've had a breakdown, they are not themselves. And yet to see them slowly but surely heal the timeline come back fully into who they truly are, free from the weight that they've been carrying that wasn't theirs to carry, I could cry. I mean, the transformation in these people is absolutely beyond anything that I could ever have imagined. And they are living their best lives now. And they have found a sense of peace that they have never, ever, ever experienced before.
Thank you so much for that. And I think anyone listening right now, regardless of like not always knowing the full facts and things like this, we don't actually need to know this. We just need to connect to what Jo has just beautifully expressed. And you will just know within, wow, I want a little bit of that. Don't let this take you out the game and start thinking, oh, but how much, and this and stop. Do you know, you have an opportunity now to look in the notes, connect with this lady. You have no idea what the outcome could be. And I think often this will try, particularly when it's something that's new, that we are the unknown, it will try to like make storylines and excuses of why we can't do that, but we've not even explored the opportunity. Like I don't know if this is something you offer, but I'm sure you can share in a minute, but something you offer, but I'm sure that you have a discovery call or something. Connect with this incredible woman, speak to her first, share what you need to share, and allow just the magic to unfold. Do not let this take you out of the game before you even know what actually the outcome might be, or what the process could be. So I think sometimes, like, and even when people put like the package, again, stop. I believe that anyone listening, anything that's for us, it will come in one way or another, and you just have to trust and believe that it is all gonna work out exactly how it's supposed to work out. So thank you for sharing that, and it sounds like, yeah, really, really profound. And I know that there's a reason why you came on today and shared what you have shared. And of course, if there's anything else before I don't want to use up too much of your time, but anything else before I ask you the last thing that I always ask my guests, if there's anything else you would love to share, like, I don't know if you have anything that you want to share with everyone listening, please feel free to use this time now.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your words and wisdom, because I think that your energy is phenomenal. And I think what we need is for everybody who's listening to your beautiful podcast to realise and recognise that they can have your beautiful energy too. And one thing that I would like to share, if I may, is a while ago I was doing a workshop for people, and they were all given a candle, and they were asked to light their candles at the beginning of the session. And I thought, I know how I'm going to manage to get people to recognise and realise what they do. So they all lit their candles. This was on Zoom because it was in lockdown and we were doing this workshop. And I just said to them all, right, please can you just blow your candles out? And they all looked at me and went, ooh, what, why? And I said, now, how can you light anybody else's candle from your own if your own is out?
Wow.
So I think my message to everybody is, if your candle is out, if you have done giving, if you have given your all and are feeling depleted and run down and overwhelmed, and you are running on empty, you cannot light anybody else's candle from your own. You must tend to your own flame first. Then you can give more than ever before. And you mentioned discovery calls, and yes, but I'm also actually going to run a free masterclass on the 4th of September for people to come and just dip their toe into this energetic healing that I do and receive some free gifts and things that can help to begin to align them. So would it be okay if I shared the details with the podcast?
Absolutely. I'm even like definitely going to be looking into the timings, and what a blessing. Thank you so much. Wow. And also, this is the thing, sometimes it only takes something so simple yet so profound as blowing out a candle and then saying, light it, for someone to be like, I can't. And wow. Wow. Like, even now, that's just so strongly in my mind. Thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, what a really powerful, powerful, powerful realization. And I'm sure there was so many people on that call that day that just had an absolute breakthrough. Thank you for sharing that. And although you shared some really beautiful words already, many, many beautiful words, something I always love to ask my guests before you go is, if there was just something right now that you just feel someone listening would really, really need to hear or know, what would you tell them?
Gosh, that's hard. I think if we ask the listeners to every single day just ask themselves, just for today, what one small thing can I do or add or change that will help my own health and well-being? Just for today, what one small thing could I do? Yeah. Because hopefully that then is not overwhelming, not scary, not frightening, but it will hopefully get people to begin to explore within what they can do to help themselves for their own health and well-being.
That's so beautiful, Jo. And like, the first thing that I straight away hear from that, which is what I'm feeling, we need to, of course, like, we have things planned and things like that, but just being, and the word itself is a gift, being in the present moment. Yes, we have all these incredible things that, yes, of course, we can't just like live our lives, wake up, what will I do today? But that is so beautiful what you could do and what you're suggesting, because even today to tomorrow is a very different day, a very different feeling, energy, whatever you want to call it. And just waking up, checking in with yourself and just being like, okay, today, what can I do? I think that's so powerful, because what I could say I'm going to do for the next 7 days, I don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow. So, and I think that again stops the guilt and the shame and all these emotions of something that we've pre-planned, but we put the pressure on ourselves to start with. So I think, again, like, do you know what? I'm going to be kind to myself today, and today this is what I can do today. And I think that's really powerful what you've said. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute blessing. I'm so happy we connected, and I am 100% going to be looking up your incredible event, and all the details will be there, and I'm looking forward to us all, really everybody watching, that is available to support Jo and just really find out more about her and her incredible impact that she's creating. And maybe just keep evolving, keep expanding, and going more and more within and becoming more and more of ourselves. So thank you, Jo.
So much. Thank you.